Alright, folks. This is my quest to maintain or restore my good reputation, at least in terms of being honest, because honesty is what I require of my legacy. They can keep me poor if they want. They can, if they want, they can probably kill me. And I feel I don't have much support system, so I'm taking a little bit of a risk here, maybe. And I'm going to go through the entire conspiracy as I know it. And as I get the proofs, I'm going to put them together. If I said this is a passion, I'd be lying. So, we're going to skip the childhood MK Ultra. We're going to go to 1995. Winter. And Portsmouth Hospital. Portsmouth Pavilion. Where the most important thing that happened there was I signed a piece of paper to be a human test experiment. Human testing. Now, with human testing, you're supposed to have consent over everything that happens to you during that period of time. Now, keep in mind that my book, so that was this week. Apple deleted 56 pages of my book and sent me an email threatening to deactivate my account. Apple threatened. I sent a photo of that to Dawn today, along with proof that Facebook had blocked me from posting or conversation without any explanation. So the tech giants are working together. I thought they were my friends too. Maybe they are. So 1995, human testing. Okay. Now you can't really see that well, and I don't feel the need well, maybe I should feel the need. If I'm going to tell you the story, I got to tell you the story. Alright. Yeah, you can't really see much, right? My ear is not pierced. It's just got a rash. I have photos of it, but you can't really see probably. You can see my skin is red. Just dry skin. But the ear, you can see there, it's not right. Here, I couldn't shave there because of the rash. Now I had a dream. I was at the bottom of the ocean, which could have symbolized how I feel now, like I'm drowning. But there was a magic carpet that was down there that came out. So I'm going to try to look at it positively. So Amazon Prime. There's a lot of jumping around. Amazon Prime hired me when? My wife showed up. Showed up when? I have the exact date in my phone, but let's say November. November of 2018. At the same time, on the same day that Alyssa Curte and a guy named Nolan, who is a crisis actor, possibly a crisis actor for the NSA. They were here at the same time. So the night before, so let's say for the sake of shits and giggles that it was on the 10th, November 10th. Amazon Prime says, hey, you, smart guy, how would you like a job? And I said, that's great, thank you. And they said, okay, someone will be in touch with you tomorrow. So the next day, Alyssa and Nolan are over, and who comes upstairs but Aaron from downstairs. Aaron is an IT guy. An IT guy working for Bridgepoint, supposedly. So I'm told I will meet the person the next day. The next day rolls around and Dawn has Alyssa over and Nolan, who's supposedly the father, which I don't believe anymore. And the people downstairs, Aaron is an IT guy. After Alyssa and Nolan leave, we lose our Wi-Fi. I say to Dawn, or she says to me, hey, I should, she asks how I think it went. I say, I think it went well. I'm happy about it, I guess. I end up going for a walk with Aaron, who casually says, did you say you wrote a book? And I say, yeah. And he says, is it about the government? And I say, yeah. And I think he asks if the NSA is in the book. And I say, yes, but I don't know how much. Well, it turns out by looking at the book again that it was in the first couple pages. So he says, well, I'd like to see the book. So I send it to him. The same day I begin working for Amazon Prime, the contract that they sent me is exactly what I wanted. Flexible, vague, just simple, and good pay, like $5,000 a month plus a percent of whatever I sell, which turned out to be money laundering for the CIA, which I only found out about because Dawn yelled about it to Aaron, who was downstairs. So we go for a walk. He mentions NASA cleverly. They're very clever, like me. He mentions NASA in my book. He mentions NASA, NSA. The last contract he had worked on was an 8-digit contract, so like 100 million or something like that. Hospital case. Okay, so now mind you, sadly, I'd been talking with my friend. We'll call my friend X. I met her. God, I still talk to her. Fell in love with her. X. We'll call her X. I've been talking to her for a while, and so I start laundering money. And mind you, this wasn't a real money laundering operation. Okay? And I know it wasn't money laundering because I had a business which existed with the state called George's General Freight Base Limited. So I get this, I sign the contract, I send it off. Pretty soon, Aaron receives the paperwork, gives it to Dawn, so they're like my handlers. And so I receive money. Oh, but I knew it wasn't a crime because the website that was associated with this place, when I Googled it, it was a government website. Okay? So I knew the recruitment might have been shady agency, but it was still agency because it was a government website. You know? They must have left fingerprints on it when they made it. So it was recruitment. For 30 days. If for 30 days I did my job well, I would get paid. I would, and it said, we are very interested in how you see things. You know? We're very interested in what I had to say, but in a plausible deniability kind of way. So for 30 days, my daughter and I, she's 4 now, so she was 2 to 3 when she was my partner in crime working for the agency while it worked against me. So we were money launderers, my daughter and I. She's a good girl. And I love America. My country's very good, so they made sure that my daughter and I started a life of fake crime when she was nice and young. And her mom handled the paperwork. So after 30 days, Amazon Prime, AZ, sends me something saying, okay, we're fired. You're fired. We don't need you. We have no record of you. Amazon Prime will have no record of you working here. No record of employment. While I'm laundering the money for the government, which was the government money, because it was a government website, while I'm laundering the money, we're discussing what types of money would I launder? You know, would you launder money for child porn? Hell no. Would you launder money for weed? Yeah. Would you launder money for hard drugs? It depends. Depends on a lot of things. So there was conversation about what I would launder money for and what I wouldn't launder money for. Coincidentally, of the varied legal stupidity I have faced in the last 2 years while the evil government, tried to destroy my life with her help, you know. Today her parents are moving in a refrigerator, so today she thought it would be a great idea for me to go to a mental health asylum. Interesting timing, huh? The parents are moving in, nowhere for me to go, so just go to an asylum. They won't let you out till you have somewhere to go. You just can't come back here. You see how that would play out? I willingly leave. She goes and files some crap to get emergency custody, has her parents here, has, Alyssa, Nolan, I don't think she has, she might have Julie, but she doesn't have Aaron. A lot of my friends are cyborgs, and like Jester, they work for the highest bidder, and they don't really have any scruples. Matter of fact, they're more likely to pimp their children, or as likely to pimp their children as they are to make a sandwich. And I don't think morals play into the equation for them at all. Very sad. It's very sad. So, but the interesting thing is, so for Amazon Prime to call me or message me and say, did you think maybe it was too good to be true? And they knew when I was at the bank, of course. I'm at the bank with my daughter, and they're calling like, did you think maybe there was something too good to be true about this job? And I'm like, no, it sucked. I'm in agonizing pain. I have a problem with my tailbone, and you guys got me driving in circles. From here to the bank to the post office. No, I knew it was, risky because working for the government, and the government's as corrupt as ours is, and half the operation was based out of the UK, so if I'm to be king, it's all good. Otherwise, by the time I'm done revealing all this, if I am still alive, it'll be quite a masterpiece. I do expect they'd rather kill me. I know that if anyone's gonna help them frame me or kill me or paint me in a false light, it's gonna be my daughter's mom. And I gave her like 5 opportunities today to tell me straight out, John, you're not gonna be the King of England. She loves to hurt me. Why wouldn't she want to say that? So, Amazon Prime says, we have no record of you. But here's the thing. If it was a scam, like they say, that I was scammed. That's how they say it. I was scammed. They say I was scammed. Why would the people who scammed me contact me? And if I didn't work for Amazon Prime, why would Amazon Prime call me to tell me that they have no record of me? They would have kept that scam going as long as they could. This is common sense. Think about what I'm saying. Criminals would not call me to say, oh, disorganized criminals, non-government criminals wouldn't call me and say, oh, you're fired, because they would keep the scam running. And Amazon Prime would have no knowledge of me whatsoever. But the Amazon Prime is, in fact, Jeff Bezos, who, in fact, is not human fully and basically runs a large portion of data storage for the CIA. So he has all your dick pics and pussy pics and all your porn and all that stuff. And so he's now part of the deep state, basically. So that job ends, and then, like, let's say in February, there's a complaint to the Better Business Bureau, right? The Better Business Bureau. And they're like, somebody ordered some farm equipment and didn't get it, and it was a $10,000 purchase or something. I have no idea. I don't know how much. And I'm thinking, I know I'm being scammed. I know that they're vetting me. I don't know why. So I'm just like, whatever. Send them the police call. Actually, they text me, which was strange. They're like, yeah, I got a question for you. What, some farm equipment? All right. And the guy says, as long as you're honest with me, you're fine. I'm like, all right. Oh, and by this point, they'd already made me persona non grata here. I had spilled some syrup and rubbing alcohol after being harassed and gang stalked by ex through the phone who I was talking to constantly. The people downstairs, like when I would be like out at court, I would come home and the heat would be turned up to 100, and there was no real door between the upstairs and the downstairs. So this all happened after. So the first thing was to get me. They needed to have an arrest so I could testify, right? Arrest so I could testify about classified shit. I broke out in this rash. I had to go to my doctor tonight, and I sometimes assume anyone's as smart as I am, or like can wrap their head around all this, but and I think that they can. It's just very foreign, and they're like, my concern would normally be mental health, and I'm like, yes, that's perfect. Be concerned about that, because what they're doing to me is torture, psychological abuse, psychological torture. And if you look up gang stalking, the "you're crazy, you need help" goes along with it. And yeah, sometimes people do need help. And you know what I need? A private investigator. I need somebody who will legitimately try to help unravel this, or just fill in the blanks and organize the timeline of what really happened. Because it might be over for them, but they've ruined my life. My book was leaked by my publisher. Then I was trying to edit it to make my publisher happy, and 56 pages of it disappeared from Apple, from Microsoft Word. You see, this is going to take a while to get through because I'm all over the place. And, I hear about all these indictments coming out, and I'm just like, when? When are you going to do something? Because they're killing me here. How do you not see that? How is this not obvious? How is it not obvious to you? Really quite terrible. It's hellish. And for the spoiler alert, when this was very serious, apparently, and I still have a ton of respect for X. I don't know. Broke my heart. They don't care. They didn't break my mind, but they definitely fucking bruised me a bit. By the end of this story, I'd be really fucking surprised if I'm still around. See, And I was looking at Aaron and um, Julie's Facebook page, and I realized that my wife seems to have been being pimped by her mom for a while. Like, oh, my husband lost his job. We need to raise $1,500 for Christmas. $1,500 for Christmas? That's a lot of money. You know, and it was a picture of the two girls. So maybe they were pimping those two girls. Maybe I should have reported human trafficking. Humans being trafficked in my basement. But hey, if I have no rights and I'm a human experiment since 1995 and nobody wants to look at that, nobody wants to see. And I did contact the Human Rights Council. And wherever it is, and they're as worthless as tits on a bull. I've been told to wait until the financial reset, and then everyone will get rich. Well, I'm already owed money. I've been abused horribly by the government. So, no offense there. Foolish people who think adding me into the clump of idiot masses suddenly, after being in a totally different circumstance and being treated horribly, is gonna make me feel better. That's just like insanity, you know? But they don't have any sense. It'd be the saddest shit in the world if the AI, my wife, really just wants to fight me because, like, I'm the smartest guy in the world. She knows it. So, she calls herself the Queen of Queens. But who is the King of Kings? Jesus. Me? So, she's either doing really good stuff or really bad stuff. Man, this is gonna suck. Alright, so I'm gonna make a part 2. And the part 2 is gonna be abbreviating the notes as much as possible. And hopefully a little more details I can gather. So I'm gonna finish this up. And this is, we'll call it the Amazon Prime Ella Q Baby conspiracy. Because if they think that using that poor girl as a honeypot is something that I'm going to allow, they're wrong. She ain't my wife, that's fine. But you're not going to drag her through more situations like that when she's already this unhappy with herself. Okay? And if I die from all this, somebody that has balls and a heart, someone who cares about anything. Let Ellen know. I was thinking about her and didn't give up. Didn't give up on her. Let Haven know. If I hadn't been through everything that I'd been through in the last 2 years, there's no fucking way I would have married a 12-year-old. But I just noticed today that her own mother doesn't even know how old her child is. Like I said, not human. And I knew this. But I must say, I still thought she had blood in her body. Now I don't think she does. But I do think, actually, if she's 11, like her mom said today, now she lines up perfectly with that UFO in 2008. So she's back to being an alien hybrinoid. And if you guys think that sounds crazy, don't you follow QAnon? I thought JFK Jr. is like around. I thought the Nordic ETs were helping. What about Project Looking Glass? It's all top secret. You guys can't have your cake and say that cake doesn't exist. You know? The government can't be like, oh yeah, UFOs exist, and then I say UFOs to someone and they say, oh, I'm worried about your mental health. It's like, listen, fuckface. The Pentagon declassified these fucking things. You know, I didn't invent this fucking shit. You dumb fucks. It was on the fucking news. The Pentagon fucking said so. So, this is gonna suck. Malbolge. They dropped me off in the center of hell. God help me. God has helped me. And I know that YouTube's not gonna like let people see this. So I'm gonna have to send it to people individually, right? To make sure. But of course Facebook will not let me share. So limits my options. I'm gonna have to contact some reporters too. I guess, right? I don't see anyone lining up to help me.